Hi, I'm Jeff Mucklin at the Nurture Nature Center, and I'm here to talk to you about Plastic Free July. Plastic Free July is a global movement to reduce plastic pollution by encouraging millions of people to refuse to use single-use plastics. Hopefully, the habits we form during Plastic Free July will help us reduce our plastic use year-round. Plastics are cheap and easy to manufacture, but they pose a huge environmental hazard. Many types of plastic are not biodegradable under normal conditions. This means that plastic pollution will last longer in the environment than some other kinds of pollution. Plastic pollution is an eyesore and a threat to animals. Sometimes animals eat plastic pollution, which can cause health issues and death. Plastic enters the environment through accidents and improper disposal. Floods can cause a huge release of plastic into the environment, for example. Local flooding on the Delaware River can cause lots of plastic to enter the river. Pollution in local waterways can and often does drain into the ocean, where pollution can persist for decades. Much of the plastic in the ocean is from fishing gear as well, like old nets. Once plastic enters the ocean, it will circulate. This data set shows how plastic pollution distributes through the world's ocean currents. The white dots that we see here are the actual paths of some free-floating buoys that were released by NOAA. You can see that over time, the buoys tend to collect into 5 areas of circulating water called gyres, or garbage patches by some. Here we see a computer model of particles released evenly over the world's oceans, and they also collect into the great ocean gyres. You can see several patches of debris. The patch in the North Atlantic, seen right here, is called the Sargasso Sea, so named because large amounts of floating plant material called sargassum has been known for centuries to collect there. Plastic is now also floating with that sargassum. The Great Pacific Gyre, also known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, is another example. Plastic bottles, bags, nets, and so on can be found floating on the surface in these places. Over time, some of this plastic can sink to the bottom of the ocean and disturb sensitive deep sea environments as well. Plastic also slowly breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces without actually decomposing like natural materials like wood or paper do. These smaller particles are even more likely to be eaten by birds, fish, and marine mammals, causing more harm. Plastic makes up about 80% of pollution found in the ocean already. Over 14 million tons of plastic enters the ocean every year, and it's estimated that there will be more plastic than fish in the world's oceans by 2050 if something doesn't change. We are what needs to change. We need to use far less plastic, as little as possible. I encourage you to see if you can avoid using plastic shopping bags and single-use plastic containers and straws and other things like that for Plastic Free July. If you do buy plastic products, try to reuse them to avoid buying more plastic. Make sure it is disposed of properly by recycling it. But remember that many plastics are not actually recycled, even if they have a recycling label and are placed in the correct bin. For this reason, the surest thing you can do to avoid contributing to this problem is to not use plastic products in the first place. And remember that pollution in your environment is carried by rain into local waterways and eventually into the ocean. So we can all help to reduce ocean pollution no matter where we live. Check out plasticfreejuly.org for more information. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.